In a small town, Philip and Ella grew up together in the same street. Both of them lived a playful and happy life from their childhood days. They even attended the same schools together. While growing up, Philip would always go to Ella's house to play with her. Philip laughed and said, "Ella, you're always the fastest. I can never catch you." Ella grinned. "Maybe you need to practice more, Philip." Philip asked, "Ella, will you come to school tomorrow?" Ella answered, "Yes, I will." Philip said, "See you in school tomorrow." He left Ella's house and headed to his house. In the morning, Philip's parents reminded him not to forget to go to Ella's house so that they would go to school together. Philip walked to Ella's house. Ella's mom prepared, and when Philip arrived at the house, she took both of them to school. In their primary school, Philip excitedly said, "Ella, let's sit together in class. We can help each other with homework." Ella nodded, "Of course. We make a great team." From a young age, Philip and Ella showed their eagerness to learn, their shared love for knowledge forming the foundation of their friendship. At the primary school playground, where children were playing on swings, slides, and seesaws, Philip and Ella were on the swings, laughing and talking. Philip pumped his legs and said, "Look how high I can go, Ella." Ella giggled, "You're flying, Philip. But be careful." Philip grinned, "Don't worry, I'll be fine. Let's see who can swing the highest." Their playful competitions and shared laughter on the playground were moments of pure joy, which strengthened their friendship. Few years later, Philip and Ella got into the same secondary school. In their classroom, during their art lesson, students were working on a group project. Philip and Ella were paired together to draw and paint a house. Both of them worked well, communicating all through the process of making their artwork. Their teacher, Mrs. Wilson, said to both of them, "Excellent work, Philip and Ella. You make a great team." Their ability to work together and complement each other's strengths was evident from their earliest days in school. After school, Philip and Ella walked home together, their backpacks bouncing as they talked animatedly. Ella said, "Did you hear about the new book in the library?" Mrs. Wilson said it has the most beautiful story and graphics. Philip replied, "Let's go see it tomorrow. I love reading new books." Ella said, "Me too. I can't wait." Their shared interest extended beyond the classroom, with both of them eager to explore the world of books and stories. The next day, during lunch break, Philip and Ella sat under a large tree, talking about their dreams. Philip said, "One day, I would love to travel the world and see all the different places." Ella replied, "And I would love to help people, maybe become a doctor." Philip said, "You'd make a great doctor, Ella. You're always so kind." Ella said, "And you'll be an amazing explorer, Philip. You're so brave." Their friendship was built on mutual respect and encouragement, with both of them supporting each other's dreams. Few years passed. After their secondary school, they got admission to study different courses in the same university. At Ella's department, one particular boy called Kenny always teases her. Kenny said, "Hey, Ella, why are you always hanging out with Philip? Don't you have other friends?" Philip stepped in, standing protectively in front of her. "Leave her alone, Kenny. She's my friend, and she doesn't need your approval." Kenny sneered, "Oh, look, Philip the protector." Ella gratefully said, "Thank you, Philip. You always stand up for me." Philip replied, "Of course, Ella. We have to look out for each other. Their friendship faced challenges, but Ella's loyalty and courage helped them overcome any obstacles. The last day at the university, students gathered for a small graduation ceremony in their various departments, but Philip left his department and went to celebrate at Ella's department. Ella was happy to see him, then both of them sat side by side, beaming with pride. Ella's head of department, Mr. Matthew, said, "Congratulations to all our students. You've worked hard and made us proud. Keep chasing your dreams." Philip was whispering to Ella, "We did it, Ella." Ella smiled and said, "I'm so excited, Philip." Their university days were filled with learning, laughter, and the seeds of a friendship that would grow and evolve in the years to come. Philip was smiling. "Can you believe we've been friends since we were kids, and now here we are, graduating from university together?" Ella was beaming. "It's been an amazing journey. I couldn't have asked for a better friend." Philip raised a glass and said, "To us, Ella. To our friendship and all the wonderful memories we've made." Ella clinked her glass with Philip's own. "To us, Philip." Philip desired to further his education in abroad and started applying for scholarships. Fortunately for him, he got an admission in the university to do his master's degree. He informed Ella that he would be traveling to Germany to further his education. At first, Ella didn't want him to go because she felt like he won't want to communicate with her again, and their friendship would die off when he leaves the country. But Philip assured her that he would keep in touch and always call her on phone. On the day Philip was traveling outside the country, Ella accompanied him to the airport. When he wanted to board the plane, Ella told him, "Philip, don't forget to call me when you arrive." Philip replied, "Yes, I will." Philip kept his promise of calling Ella at least twice a week to know how she was doing for 4 months. But their communication started reducing afterwards. Ella assumed that he was busy with studies, and that was the reason why he doesn't call her often again. Few months later, Philip completed his master's degree program and secured a well-paying job that granted him leave to stay in Germany. One day, he had the thought of settling down. Immediately, his mind went straight to Ella, who he has known all his life, and is in good friendship with, though he hasn't spoken with her for long. Philip said, "When I get to my country, I will propose to Ella. I know she will agree to marry me." Philip called Ella on phone. "Ella, my friend, I will be coming back to the country ending of next month, and I would like you to be the first person I will see when I arrive." Ella said, "You haven't called me for how many months now, and you are calling me now to tell me you will be coming back? You need to see your family first before you can visit me." Philip said, "You are right. I am sorry about that. You know how busy this place can be. I would like you to come to the airport and accompany me home." "Okay, that's not a problem," Ella replied. "I will send you the details of my travel when I get my flight ticket," Philip said. "Okay, I will be waiting," Ella replied. The next day, after Philip booked his flight ticket and sent the details to Ella, on the day he would be coming back, Ella went to the airport to wait for him. Their flight landed at the airport, and he rushed to take his luggage, checked them out quickly, and hurried to see Ella. When Ella saw him, they hugged each other and headed to get a taxi home. Few days after Philip came back and finished visiting some of his family members and friends, he called Ella on phone. "I would like us to have dinner tonight." Ella was so happy about that, and said to him, "I am cool with that. Send the venue and time to me." "Sure, I will," Philip replied. He sent the details to her. On the stated date, Ella dressed so beautifully to meet up with him at the restaurant. On getting there, Ella expected to see Philip sitting and waiting for her, but he wasn't there yet. Ella waited for half an hour before Philip arrived, and casually apologized to her for being late. Ella accepted the apology. They talked for a little, with Philip asking Ella what she has been doing since he was away. Ella informed him that she is currently working in a bank. He also asked about Ella's relationship status, and she told him that she is not in any relationship. After checking the menu and ordering food, Philip knelt down beside Ella and proposed to her. "Ella, will you marry me?" Ella was very surprised because there was no time. He informed her that he wanted to marry her. But she thought to herself, she has known him for so long, there is no need for courtship, and since she is not in any relationship presently, she replied happily, "I will marry you." Their relationship blossomed into love, and then they got married. The wedding was a grand affair, attended by family and friends. Later, Philip went back to Germany and prepared Ella's papers to join him there. Ella's papers were approved by the embassy, and shortly after, she joined her husband in Germany. 3 months into the marriage, Ella got pregnant. As time went on, Ella observed that Philip's attitude towards her has changed, unlike the person she used to know from childhood. During the weekends, Philip will leave the house and won't come back the same day. This got Ella worried. Ella politely asked her husband when he came back the next day, "Where did you go to? You left me all alone in this house in my condition." "Ella, it's none of your business. Just mind yourself and your tummy," Philip replied angrily. Ella wondered if it was another person she married. While Ella was still lost in thought, Philip went into the bedroom. The next day, Ella requested for money from him to go get food items for the house. He replied, "I don't have money now, use your money and I will pay you back later." Ella said, "You know I don't have a job yet, where do you expect me to get the money from?" "Anywhere, Ella, anywhere, stop disturbing me, I need all the rest I can get now because I have work to go to tomorrow." Ella didn't know what to do. She managed to cook something with the food items they had already in the house. The next day, she started looking for jobs online. Luckily for her, one of the jobs she applied for invited her for an interview the next day. Philip came back from work and immediately demanded for food. Ella brought out what she made and he ate it without asking how she managed to prepare the food. Then, Ella went for her interview, and before she arrived home, the panel sent her a congratulatory email for getting the job. Ella was extremely happy, and couldn't wait to start making her own money, even in her pregnant state. Ella informed Philip about her new job, but he didn't seem to be happy about the good news. Few weeks later, Ella, after she finished her mandatory trainings, started her job as a support worker in the health sector. When she started receiving her wages, she stopped asking Philip money for food and upkeep. She thought this would make her husband change his attitude towards her and become the man she used to know, but no, everything became worse for her. After a month Ella started her new job, Philip said to her, "You will be remitting any money you receive from your job to me." Ella asked, "Why will I do that? I am the man of the house, and any money you earn belongs to me. I will be the one to give you money from there for your basic needs." Philip answered, "You know why I started this job in my condition is, so that I will stop asking you for money, also to be able to take care of myself." Ella said. Philip replied, "I have told you, don't try me. Remit all the money you make or you will receive it hot from me." It was Ella's payday. She went to the cash machine on her way back from work to withdraw money. When Ella returned home from work, visibly tired, Philip was sitting on the couch, looking impatient. Philip stood up, sternly. Ella, you're back. Do you have money? Ella was hesitant, pulling out an envelope. Yes, Philip. Here it is. Ella handed over the envelope to him. Philip snatched it from her, counted the money, and frowned. Philip said angrily, "This isn't enough. Where's the rest?" Ella pleaded, "Philip, it's all they paid me." Philip grabbed Ella by the arm and dragged her to the center of the room. Ella cried, "Please, Philip. I've given you everything I earned. I swear." Philip said furiously, "You think you can lie to me? You think I'm stupid?" Philip slapped Ella hard across the face. She stumbled and fell to the floor. Ella sobbed, "Philip, please stop. I can't take this anymore." Philip towered over her. "You take what I give you and keep your mouth shut. You understand?" Philip kicked her in the ribs. Ella curled up, trying to protect her tummy. Ella whimpered, "I'm sorry, Philip. I'm so sorry." Philip spat, "Sorry won't feed us. Get up and make sure you bring more money next time. Or else." Philip stormed out of the room, leaving Ella lying on the floor, bruised and crying. Ella whispered to herself, "I have to find a way out of this. I can't live like this anymore." Ella slowly got up, wiped her tears, determined to find a way to escape Philip's abuse. She went to call her mother on phone and explain what has been happening to her. The mother said, "Ella, I don't believe what you are saying, because I have known your husband since he was small, and he is not capable of doing all that you said now. What did you do to him? You young girls now, if you go over to abroad, you will forget all about your home training. As your mother, I will always advise you right. Obey your husband and be submissive, he is a good man." Ella said, "Mom, it seems you didn't hear what I said. Bye, and do what I told you to do." Ella's mother disconnected the call. Her plans to escape Philip proved abortive. One evening, Philip and Ella were sitting in their living room. Ella has just picked up Philip's phone and seen a text message from another woman. Ella was holding up the phone. "Philip, who is Sarah?" Philip looked up nonchalantly. "Oh, she's just a friend from work." Ella's voice trembled. "A friend from work? This message doesn't look like it's just from a friend. I had a great time last night. Can't wait to see you again. What is this about?" Philip shrugged. "We went out for drinks after work. It's no big deal." Ella stood up, her voice rising. "No big deal. You never mentioned this to me. Why are you going out with other women behind my back?" Philip sighed. "Ella, you're overreacting. It's just a few drinks. We are allowed to have friends, aren't we?" Tears formed in her eyes. "Friends? This is more than just friendship, Philip. You're cheating on me." Philip rolled his eyes. "Oh, come on, Ella, don't be so dramatic. It's not like I slept with her." Ella's voice was breaking. "How can you be so casual about this? This is our relationship, our marriage we're talking about." Philip said, "Maybe if you weren't so clingy and paranoid, I wouldn't need to find someone else to hang out with." Ella stunned silence for a moment. "Clingy and paranoid? I've trusted you, Philip. I believed in us. And now, you're blaming me for your actions. You are not even minding my condition. This is basically not who I fell in love with. Philip stood up, looking annoyed. Wait. Do you expect me to still be that small boy of yesterday? No, you lie. I am a grown man now. I can act and react anyhow I want. You are my wife now, so you are under me. You will only do what I say. Look, I'm not going to stand here and be lectured. I need some space. Ella cried. Space? You need space. How about the space you've already taken by lying to me and going out with other women? Philip headed towards the door. You know what, Ella? Maybe we both need some space to think things over. I'll be at a friend's place for a few days. Ella sobbed. Philip, don't do this. Please, let's talk about it. Remember how we used to be in our childhood days? You always protected me and cared so much about me. Now that I am pregnant, your love and care is supposed to be higher. Without looking back, Philip said to her, there's nothing more to talk about, Ella. I'll see you when I see you. The door closed behind him, leaving Ella alone in the living room, her heart shattered. Philip came back after 4 days, like he stated. The friend he went to stay in her house was Sarah, his girlfriend. Philip's descent into infidelity began with seemingly innocuous friendship. At first, he would occasionally mention Sarah. In passing conversations with Ella, she's just a friend, he'd say with a nonchalant shrug whenever Ella's brow furrowed with mild curiosity. But as weeks turned into months, Philip's interactions with Sarah became more frequent and secretive. His phone now buzzed incessantly with notifications he quickly silenced. Ella couldn't help but notice the growing divide between them, the way Philip's eyes would light up when a message from Sarah popped up. One evening, as Philip showered, Ella's curiosity got the better of her. His phone, lying unguarded on the bed, buzzed with another message. She reached for it, her hands trembled. The text on the screen made her heart sink. Last night was amazing. When will you come to see me again? Sarah. Ella's mind raced as she scrolled through the thread, each message more damning than the last. Flirty emojis, late-night confessions, plans for clandestine meetings, all painted a vivid picture of betrayal. The knot in her stomach tightened as she realized this wasn't just a harmless friendship. Philip had crossed the line, and he had done so without the slightest hint of remorse. When Philip emerged from the bathroom, Ella was standing in the doorway, his phone clutched in her hand. Her eyes were red, her voice trembled. Explain this, Philip, she demanded, thrusting the phone towards him. Philip glanced at the screen, his expression unreadable. Instead of panic or guilt, his face remained stoic. It's not what you think, he began, but the lack of genuine concern in his voice was telling. Ella's eyes widened in disbelief. Not what I think. How can you say that? You've been cheating on me. Philip sighed, running a hand through his damp hair. Look, Ella, it's complicated. Sarah and I, we just have a connection. A connection? Ella echoed, her voice breaking. Do you even hear yourself? You've been lying to me, sneaking around. And for what? For a connection. Ella said, is this not the same Sarah that I saw her text on your phone few months ago, which made you leave the house for 4 days? You haven't for one day asked me if I'm visiting the hospital for antenatal or not. Philip's silence was deafening. He didn't reach out to console her, didn't attempt to explain further. Instead, he simply stood there, as if waiting for the storm to pass, indifferent to the pain etched across Ella's face. It was in that moment that Ella realized the depth of Philip's betrayal. It wasn't just the act of cheating, beating and collecting her wages that hurt, it was his utter lack of remorse. He had chosen his path, and with it, he had shattered the trust and love that once bound them together. Few months later, Ella took maternity leave from work, and shortly after that, she put to birth to a bouncing baby boy. Philip was happy, but this didn't stop him from cheating on her. He will leave Ella and the baby at home and go out to meet with Sarah. One evening, when Philip was at home, he started feeling strange. Whenever he makes use of the toilet, he would feel a burning sensation. Then he decided to call the hospital to book an appointment. When he got to the hospital on the scheduled day, after a series of tests, the doctor told him that he has chlamydia. Doctor explained to him what the disease was. It is a bacterial infection that is gotten through contact with infected genital fluids. The doctor further wrote drugs that he needs to take and told him that he is lucky that he came now. If it's that he came later, it would have spread to other parts of his body. Doctor wrote some drugs for him and he went home quietly. Philip was gently treating this disease so that his wife won't find out. But one of the days, Ella saw the packets of drugs in the drawer. She browsed the internet to know the kind of drugs they were. Then confronted Philip to know what those drugs were doing in their bedroom. That was when Philip opened up to her and told her about his disease. Ella was very hurt because she knew he contacted it from the other women he has been sleeping with. Ella said angrily and in tears, "Don't you ever come close to me or my baby again. We will live in this house like enemies, because that's what we are from today. You're unbelievable." Those words from Ella crossed through his heart, and that was when he realized that he has been a very bad husband to Ella. He immediately withdrew himself from sleeping with other women, especially Sarah, and focused on treating himself. It took a long time, with constant visits to the hospital, before Philip was cured from chlamydia. Philip came back home from the hospital to inform his wife that he has been cured from chlamydia. But Ella didn't seem to care and was busy taking care of her child. Still on the matter, Philip started looking for a way to get his wife's attention. He called Ella's mother on phone and told her all that happened, also apologized to her for the way he treated the daughter. He informed Ella's mother that he would love to process her visa to come and stay with them a little, also help him to talk to Ella to forgive him. Ella's mother was angry initially, but she later agreed to the plan. Philip secretly processed Ella's mom's papers to come stay with them a little and plead with Ella on his behalf. Ella's mother's paper was approved and Philip got her a ticket to come over the next week. Few weeks after, Ella's mother arrived. This got Ella shocked because she didn't know Philip and her mother had all this planned out. Few days after Ella's mother arrived, she sat Ella down and told her to forgive her husband and forgive her as well for not believing her. "I would suggest you people should go for therapy. It will help you a lot to heal from this. I know he really hurt you, but find a place in your heart to forgive him. I don't think I will trust him again," Ella said to her mother. Months later, Philip and Ella were in therapy together, working through their issues. They begin to heal and rebuild their relationship. The therapist asked them to explain what the issue was, and Philip had nothing to say that Ella did to him. But Ella had a lot to say about Philip. After the therapist listened to Ella talk about their childhood days, and what she has been going through in the hands of Philip currently, she asked Philip to explain why he has been maltreating his wife. Philip started talking. "Ella didn't do anything to me. When I was here studying for my master's degree program, no lady agreed to date me. Then, I decided to flirt around with ladies that were available for the money. When I finished school, I realized I needed to marry and won't want to go for all those ladies that were there for me just for fun. I decided to go back home and get married to the lady I have known all my life, if she was free and not in any serious relationship. After marriage, I thought I would stop flirting with ladies, but I think it became a habit for me. So, I decided to be cruel to Ella, so that she won't have the boldness to question me when I go out to have some fun with other ladies. Also, I wasn't having lots of fun with her because she was pregnant. The therapist said, trust is something that takes time to rebuild. It's important to communicate openly and honestly with each other. Philip nodded. I'm committed to making this work, Ella. You mean everything to me. Ella said calmly, make sure you don't hurt me again, because this will be the last time. I will forgive you for all your maltreatment towards me. The next Sunday, Philip and Ella renewed their wedding vows in an intimate ceremony in the presence of the priest and Ella's mother, who was carrying the newborn baby. Philip was holding Ella's hands. Ella, from this day forward, I promise to love and cherish you, to be honest and faithful, and to never take our love for granted. Ella said tearfully, Philip, I promise to stand by you, to forgive and trust you, and to always believe in our love. Philip and Ella walked hand in hand, ready to face the future together. Thank you for watching. If you found this video entertaining, please consider giving it a like and leaving a comment below to let us know your thoughts. Please, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.